نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما كان للنبي والذين آمنوا أن يستغفروا للمشركين ولو كانوا أولي قربى من بعد ما تبين لهم أنهم أصحاب الجحيم بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم الأمين Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I didn't think I read the ayah which I was supposed to read in the beginning Arabic khutbah. The ayah that I want to share with you tonight is the ayah number 116 of Surah At-Tawbah. And the reason I have chosen this ayah is to actually illustrate a misunderstanding. That how dangerous it is that when we read a Quran without understanding its context, we try to understand Quran, the meaning of the Quran, without understanding its context, without understanding when and where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said something, and we jump to conclusions and we derive something that we are not supposed to derive. So this is a thing that inshallah we will understand and we will try to understand in our tonight's session. So the ayah, the literal translation of the ayah is, and as you understand the ayah and the translation of the ayah, then you will understand that how a person can get a wrong idea of this ayah. So the ayah says, مَا كَانَ لِلنَّبِيِّ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. It is not appropriate for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the people who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَا كَانَ لِلنَّبِيِّ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. It is not becoming of Prophet and the believing community أَن يَسْتَغْفِرُوا لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ, that they should seek forgiveness for all those people who commit shirk. It is not appropriate for Prophet and believers to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive the people who commit shirk, who do idolatry. You know, the people who were not Muslims at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَلَوْ كَانُوا أُولِي قُرْبَى. Even if they are your closest relatives. Even if they are your closest relatives, but if they are committing shirk, it's not appropriate for you to make dua for them. مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْجَحِيمِ. After it has been made very, very clear to them that they are the people of the fire of Jahannam. This is a literal translation of the ayah. Now when we read this ayah, or we read the translation of this ayah, we say, okay, we are not supposed to make dua for any of our family members or for any of our friends who are non-Muslims, because they are the people of hellfire. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says this in ayah, that you are not supposed to make dua for them because they are going into the fire of Jahannam anyway. That's what we think. Now here's the context. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was preaching the same group of people in Makkah for over a decade. And after he moved to Medina, he still engaged in da'wah with these people. He was engaged with all these people, with the people of Makkah, even after he moved to Medina. Now towards the end of his life, because we are talking about Surah At-Tawbah. Surah At-Tawbah is one of the last surahs of the Quran. Towards the very end of his life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closed this door for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to make dua for them anymore. But before that ayah, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was in Makkah, he used to make dua for these people. And he used to make dua for these people all the time, regularly. And all Anbiya Karam alayhimus salatu wasalam, they used to make dua for their people. Not only their people, they used to make dua for even their enemies when they are giving da'wah. They used to make dua for their enemies as well. But then eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closes this door. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Anbiya Karam alayhimus salatu wasalam that no more. You are not supposed to make dua for these specific people because I have made it clear to you. I have highlighted to you that these people are the enemies of Islam. I have made it clear to you. But it happens towards the end of. So for example, in the case of Abu Lahab. We all know Abu Lahab. Tabbat yada Abi Lahab wa tab. Abu Lahab is the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he cursed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He hated on him. And he did whatever he can to hurt Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But still Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never hated him. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would always make dua for him until the ayat of Surah Al-Lahab came down, which basically condemned Abu Lahab for eternity. And then Prophet stopped making dua for him. Now Abu Lahab is one of Ulil Qurba. He's one of the close relatives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is what Allah is saying in this ayah, that it is not appropriate for you to make dua for the people who commit shirk after I made it clear to you that these people are the fire of Jahannam. Now what does it mean for us? It means for us that we are, practically speaking, what it means for us that we are absolutely supposed to make dua. If we are Muslims and we have a Hindu family, or we have a Christian family, or we have a Jewish family, or we have an atheist family, we are supposed to make dua for them. Absolutely supposed to make dua for them. Why I'm saying this? Because Allah has not made it clear to us that these people are the fire of Jahannam, or these people are from the hellfire. This verdict can only come from whom? Can only come from whom? Let's wake up. Can only come from whom? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it can only come in the form of revelation. It can only come when the revelation was continuing coming on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the time of Rasulullah. After the demise of Rasulullah, no one is telling us that this person's heart is sealed and is never going to accept dawah, and he is from the people of fire of Jahannam. Nobody is giving us this revelation. The knowers of all heart, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is not sending you revelation, and He is not sending me revelation to tell the situation of the heart of the people. We don't know. This chapter has been closed forever. That's why in the next ayah, Allah is talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَمَا كَانَ اسْتِغْفَارُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ لِأَبِيهِ. That Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam used to make dua for his father all the time. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to say to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam to stop making dua for him. And then he stopped. Otherwise he would continue making dua for his father. Revelation had to come down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to tell Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam to stop. But no revelation is coming to you and no revelation is coming to me. Allah has not made it clear to us. So it is very, very important that for all of us, especially it holds true particularly for all of our friends and relatives who are still alive. You know, those people who are dead, who have passed away, it's a different story altogether. This is a different circumstance. In fact, they have already passed away. But if they are still alive, they are supposed to be in our du'as. Remember this carefully. They are supposed to be in our du'as. We should make dua for the guidance of our parents who are non-Muslims. And even if they are Muslim, but if they are far away from the deen of Allah, make dua for them. Make dua for your brothers, make dua for your sisters, make dua for your siblings, make dua for your friends. And I think it's a good reminder for all of us, because the month of Ramadan is just 3 months down the line. And subhanAllah, time flies. Time flies. It's just 3 months down the line, and the month of Ramadan is the month of dua. So we make a lot of dua. So let's start making the preparation of the month of Ramadan from today, and start making dua for all of our friends. Make dua for their guidance, and make dua for the good for the best of them in this life as well as in the hereafter. One thing that I want to share with you is that a few months ago, I believe 4 or 5 months ago, I had an opportunity to meet a church group in Cooper. You know where Cooper is, right? And somebody told me never go to Cooper because it's a center of KKK. It's a center of KKK. So somebody told me never to go to Cooper. It's a white supremacy party which believes in white supremacy. So, but anyways, there was a group of different leaders from different churches in Cooper, and they invited me. And they invited me to speak to them about certain issues which they wanted to discuss. Now, you know, when Muslims and Christians, when they get together, we usually think that they are going to have discussion about the number of gods. 3 versus 1. That's the kind of discussion they are going to have. But I was not there to make this kind of discussion. I was not there to say this. I was there to tell them just one thing, and one thing alone. I said to them, I understand that we Muslims, because there were different topics that we were discussing, and I was the only Muslim there. I was surrounded by different leaders of different churches, and I was in their town, I was in their city. And I was approached by someone who lives in our neighborhood. And he happens to be here in one of the Jummahs, and he was happy with the lecture that I delivered, and then he asked me, contacted me, and he said if you can come and talk to them. I said to them very, very clearly that, you know, I understand that Muslims in the UK, they are a minority, but they are a significant population, and they are not going anywhere. And you know, the number of masajid, the number of makatib, the number of Islamic institutes, they are only increasing, and they are not going anywhere. And I understand that you people love Christianity, and you love Jesus to be in the heart of every single person, and you want every single person to accept Isa والسلام, as his leader and as his savior, and we respect that, and we accept that. We respect Isa والسلام, as well. But you have to understand the reality, and you have to accept the reality that we are not going anywhere, and we are the reality. So learn to deal with us, and don't just imagine that we would disappear one day, because we are not going anywhere. And I'm telling all of you now, because we are doing the dars with regards to the same ayah, making dua for non-Muslims. Because we have this certain attitude that, you know, these are all people, they are kuffar and they are going into the fire of Jahannam, and they are the people of the fire of Jahannam, so we are not supposed to make dua for them. I'm telling you this, that the Christians in this world, and the Jews in this world, and the Hindus and the Buddhists of this world, they are not going anywhere. They are a significant population on this planet. You know, our first obligation towards them, even before we call them towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or before we call them towards Islam, our obligation towards them is to show them the beauty and the etiquettes and the mannerism of Islam. And to accept that they exist. And they have been existing for centuries, and they will be here in your lifetime as well. And they will remain here for many centuries to come, as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants them to remain here. They will. So learn to deal with them, and learn to respect one another, and learn to live with one another. And not just coexist, because in the morning we were talking about, in the Jummah khutbah we were talking about coexistence. I don't like this word coexistence. Love each other. Love each other. You know, we used to have a teacher from Palestine when I was studying in Jamia Shafi in Lahore. Our teacher was from Palestine, from Palestine. And he used to tell a story when he was growing up. He said, when I was growing up in my village, there were Jews, there were Christians, and there were Muslims. And he said, back then when I was growing up, it was very normal for us to get together, have a lunch together, and talk about things together. And it was very normal. It was very, very normal. And this is how life is supposed to be. This is how we are supposed to learn how to coexist. I'm not telling you to bring them in your houses and give them your bank account numbers and make them your best friends and be with them all the time. I'm not saying this to you, but what I'm saying is that there is such a thing as a decent civil behavior towards non-Muslims. And when we think that these are kuffar and kuffar, remember I gave this example in my Jummah khutbah that I was in one place and I was delivering a talk on reflection on Quran. It was a talk about reflection on Quran, and this guy stood up and he said, you know, Mulana, what should we do? We are living in a kufr society and all these people are kuffar and our neighbors are kuffar and they are calling us to kufr. How should we give da'wah to these kuffar and kuffar and kuffar and kuffar and kuffar? He used this word so many times that I thought that he doesn't know any other word other than kufr. So I said to them, I think you have a big problem with kuffar. So let me give you this ayah. And you just think about this ayah. And it's the ayah in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to Rasulullah, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. You cannot guide whoever you love. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. And Allah can guide whoever He wants to. I know one thing that we learn here is that man ahbabta. The fact is that Prophet used to love people who don't have guidance. Some people say that this ayah, some of us says that this ayah is only about Abu Talib, but I have explained in my Jummah khutbah that if it was only about Abu Talib, as Allama Samakhshari rahmatullah said, and it is his opinion and we respect his opinion, that if it was only about Abu Talib, there should be a ha at the end of ahbabta. It should be ahbabtahu. It should be a dhamir here. It is only for Abu Talib, but there is no dhamir here. It's ahbabta, so it's tawassu fil ma'na. It opens up the meaning, which means that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved all those people who didn't have guidance. So it's a sunnah for us to love people who don't have guidance. It's a sunnah of Rasulullah. That's from where our dawah starts. To love fellow human beings, to see their families and our families. And Allah gave us this in Quran, that taking a life of one innocent human being is like killing the entire humanity. Don't we know this ayah? وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا. Another ayah in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Allah say, I myself, this is Allah is saying, we have honored all the children of Adam, alayhi salatu wasalam. Then who are you and me to insult them? Allah has honored them. You know, even in the case of Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, when the angels came to destroy Lut alayhi salam, what did Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam do? Yujadiluna fi qawmi Lut. They fought on behalf of the people of Lut. They argued to the Malaika on behalf of people of Lut, that give them chance, give them opportunity, maybe they turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This should be our attitude. You know, if it was us in place of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, we would be saying to angels, MashaAllah, you took so much time, come and destroy them quickly, as soon as possible. Look what kind of disgusting guna they are doing, what kind of disgusting sin that they are committing. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, millata abikum Ibrahim. We follow the millat of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. We follow the deen. And the sunnah of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam is what? He made dua for them. And that's what we are learning today. Make dua for your brothers and sisters. Make dua for all of your friends who are non-Muslims. Make dua that Allah give them guidance. And you know, when we do that, inshallah, when we have this kind of attitude towards non-Muslims, you will see that they will come into the fold of Islam. Today, the problem is that our words, the da'wah that we say through our words, it's not compatible with our actions. Our actions are completely opposite to our words. So it's important that da'wah of our action should speak louder than the da'wah of our words. And when we do this, inshallah, when we make dua for them and we give them respect and then we call them towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will see people will have a different kind of attitude towards Muslims. Whether they accept Islam or not. This is not in our hands, like this we learn, it is in the hands of Allah. This is not in our hands. What is in our hands? To demonstrate the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To be the best human being we can ever be in front of other people. And if we can do that, if we can make dua for them, if we can do that, inshallah, you will see a lot of people coming to the fold of Islam, or at least having good attitude, or having good concept, or having a good attitude towards Muslims and Islam. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant understanding. May Allah make us among those who make dua for everyone, not just for their own family members, for the whole ummah, for the entire mankind. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us the means of guidance, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a means of the entry of Jannah of all those people that we love, including our family members, our friends who are Muslim or non-Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us united in this dunya, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reunite us in the hereafter.